2 beauty stores, 1 celebrity, and a fanbase that just split straight down the middle. Selena Gomez announces one move, and suddenly timelines are flooded with shock, excitement, and low-key arguments that feel way bigger than makeup. On one side, you've got Sephora loyalists acting unfazed. On the other, ULTA fans celebrating like they just won a championship. And right in the middle of it all is Selena, smiling, calm, and very intentional. But here's what people aren't talking about yet. Buried beneath the headlines, the sellouts, and the fan reactions, there's a third detail that quietly explains why this move happened now. Not last year. Not later. Now. And that final piece changes how this entire announcement looks. We'll get there in the last minute. Because this wasn't just a business update. It was a calculated shift that exposed something much bigger about the beauty industry, fan loyalty, and Selena Gomez herself. The announcement itself seemed simple on the surface. Rare Beauty is officially launching in over 1,500 ULTA Beauty stores nationwide starting February 1st. That's it. No dramatic speech. No long caption. Just a clean rollout and a few words from Selena about being excited for more people to finally try the brand. But the internet did not treat it as simple. Within minutes, comment sections turned into debate rooms. Sephora versus ULTA. Accessibility versus exclusivity. And one question kept popping up over and over again. Why no? Because Rare Beauty isn't struggling. That's the part that matters. Pattern interrupt. Switch from clean brand photos to shaky phone footage of Sephora aisles with empty Rare Beauty shelves. Rare Beauty has been dominating Sephora. Products sell out constantly. Entire displays wiped clean. People walking in with one item on their list and walking out disappointed because it's gone. The brand didn't need saving. It didn't need exposure. It already had demand locked in. So this wasn't a desperation move. It was a power move. And that's where the body language starts to matter. Watch Selena in the announcement clips. She's relaxed. Measured. Not overly hyped. No nervous energy. No over-explaining. That calm confidence signals something important. This wasn't risky for her. It was already decided. Opinion trigger. Do you read that calm as confidence from success or confidence from knowing something we don't yet? Because the reaction online tells us how deep this really goes. People started admitting things they probably never thought they'd say out loud. That they refused to try Rare Beauty simply because it was only at Sephora. Not because of price. Not because of quality. Purely because of store loyalty. That's when it became clear. This wasn't just about makeup. It was about identity. For some shoppers, ULTA feels accessible. Easier parking. Closer locations. Less pressure. For others, Sephora feels premium. Curated. Familiar. And those preferences turned into camps. And Selena just walked into the middle of that divide and said, both. Micro pause. And if you think that was accidental, the next part makes it even clearer. Let's talk about what Rare Beauty represents beyond products. Because yes, the concealer is a favorite. The foundation blends like skin. The liquid blushes are legendary. One dot too many and you learn fast. The shade Happy alone could fund a small country. And the perfume has people claiming it lasts on jackets for days. But the brand's emotional anchor is the Rare Impact Fund. Mental health isn't a side note here. It's baked into the brand. On World Mental Health Day, Sephora donates proceeds from Rare Beauty sales directly to the fund. Millions have benefited. Real services. Real access. So when Rare Beauty expands into ULTA, that mission expands too. More stores. More shoppers. More impact. Pattern interrupt. Cut to headlines about mental health awareness, then back to store rollout graphics. This is where fan reactions split again. Some celebrated the accessibility. People in smaller towns. Suburban areas. Places where Sephora isn't nearby. For them, this isn't drama. It's relief. Others immediately wondered if this would change the brand's image. Opinion trigger. Does expanding into more stores make a brand more powerful or less exclusive? Because Selena seems unbothered by that question. And that's where timing becomes everything. February 1st isn't random. It lands after Rare Beauty has fully cemented its reputation. After years of sellouts. After influencer reviews. After viral moments. After credibility was already earned. This wasn't a test run. This was scale. Over 1,500 stores. That's not dipping a toe. That's jumping in with both feet. And Ulta isn't just another retailer. It reaches a different shopper. A shopper who might not follow beauty influencers. A shopper who might not watch launch videos. A shopper who walks into Ulta while running errands and discovers Rare Beauty for the first time. That's millions of new eyes. Microhook. And that brings us to the fan investigation phase. Because once the excitement settled, people started asking bigger questions. What does this mean for Sephora? Will exclusives change? Will prices shift? Will certain products launch differently? Nothing official has been said. But the speculation exploded. Pattern interrupt. Flash TikTok speculation clips, comment screenshots, side-by-side Sephora versus Ulta aisles. Beauty creators are already planning content. Store tours. Launch day hauls. Comparisons. First impressions from Ulta lighting versus Sephora lighting. Yes, that's a thing. And the algorithm is about to eat it up. But here's the subtle part people missed. Selena didn't frame this as leaving Sephora. She framed it as expanding access. Language matters. She talked about people who haven't been able to try the products yet, not people who chose not to. That wording shifts blame away from shoppers and onto access. It's inclusive, not competitive. And that aligns perfectly with how Selena has repositioned herself publicly over the years. Less reactive, more intentional. Focused on longevity. Which leads us to the final piece. The one detail that explains why this announcement hit so hard. The beauty industry right now is crowded. Celebrity brands launch constantly. Many fade fast. Some never break past hype. Rare Beauty did the opposite. It waited. It built trust first. Then it expanded. That's why this move feels stable instead of chaotic. Why the reaction is excitement instead of skepticism. Why people are already planning shopping trips instead of questioning quality. Selena didn't chase reach early. She earned it. And now she's cashing in on that trust at scale. So what happens next? Will certain products sell out immediately at Ulta? Almost guaranteed. Will Sephora and Ulta shoppers keep debating loyalty? Definitely. Will Rare Beauty's influence grow even stronger? All signs point to yes. But the bigger question is this. If Selena Gomez can bridge one of the most oddly intense divides in beauty culture with a single announcement, what does that say about where her brand goes next? International expansion, new categories, limited drops, or something no one sees coming yet? And in our next Celeb Juices video, we're breaking down how celebrity brands quietly signal their next move months before it happens, and why fans who pay attention to timing always see it first. Because this story isn't just about makeup. It's about power, patience, and playing the long game. And this move proved Selena Gomez knows exactly what she's doing.